you very much. This was very interesting to hear from the various projects. I would like to start with a question maybe to Mr. Saldarelli or Mr. Kompant. How can we make the products, any product, enter in the xylem to reach Xylella? What is your experience on the best method? Is it foliar spray, drip irrigation? What do you think works best?
Well, thank you for the invitation. In the frame of BIOVEXO, we tested a different way of application, including also endotherapy. We were not in favor of this because of the potential application to the farmers of the techniques. So we consider endotherapy possible, for example, for monumental trees that are also in Apulia, so justified. Therefore, in every case we tested, we were able to to inject our products, the two products in olive. We also tested before in potted plants, but the results in the fields were not so good. Really, the spray application of the same product was better when we then the same product applied by endotherapy. So we gave up, and you should consider that if you can on a larger tree, on bigger tree of even 30, 40 years old, you should inject for every branch. So at least three branches, three main branches to inject. So this makes the problem. The problems of each product that has been tested and is being tested with Xylella is to let the product to arrive to the xylem where the bacterium is present. We have evidences that in some cases one of our product, the one that we are able to detect, PSJN, is present in the total DNA extracted even a few months later on the plants that we sprayed. We use a surfactant to facilitate this. In parallel, we also, these were also are new. In parallel, we have also tested the possibility to bacterize, I would say, the roots of a plant with PSJN. And preliminary results told us that there is the possibility that an olive plants takes the bacterium from the roots, and the bacterium moves along the apoplast. We have this kind of evidence that we should better define. So this could be useful, for example, for nursery treated plants that can be bacterized before being transplanted in the field. PSJN, if I'm not wrong, Stefan could help me, has been also the problem with PSJN is that it induces plant immunity. So it can kill itself when it is sprayed. And that's a problem on using a bacterium, an endophyte that induce a plant immune response. This was also demonstrated by Stephen Lindov on Graven. Another problem of PSJN, I think these results are encouraging because the way of application, mainly for bigger plants, can be improved, can be perfectionated to let the bacterium to perform its activity better. And finally, if I'm not wrong, PSGN is able also to work as an epiphyte. So it induces a plant immune response, even if it does not completely enter in the xylem. So inducing a plant immune response that can help the plants to control the bacterium. These are, Stefan perhaps could help, could add something about this.
Yeah, thanks, Pasquale. PAGN normally is very well known to be an endophyte. I have studied this during my PhD and during several years. But when we apply it as foliar spray, it doesn't enter inside the plants. Why? Because it doesn't go to the xylem after foliar spray application. But what is more important, in our opinion, is that it reduces symptoms because of the plant immunity. And when we see also in the field, Pasquale was talking about endotherapy. We tested that. But what is the best solution for farmers? If the farmers is doing endotherapy, he need to buy the device to make the endotherapy, which costs. He cannot buy only one device for 10 hectares. He needs several one. And finally, the foliar spray or drip irrigation with some biopesticide is the more easiest way for application in the field for farmers, because the farmers has already the equipment for that. And of course, in BIOVEXO, I show you some result when there is a reduction of the spread of the symptom, but we don't have effect on the Xylella population. We cannot cure completely Xylella, but what we want to see is that something that can be relevant for the farmer to save his production, the landscape also, it's money for living and to sell olives on the market. The farmer will need to live with Xylella, but if we can reduce symptoms in another way, which is costly and nice, costly, good, I mean cheap for the farmer, just to buy the product and to apply it in the field, compared to endotherapy when you need, I told you, the device. And imagine also with endotherapy, how many xylem vessels are present inside the olives. And when the Xylella, the insect vector, is picking the twigs, they are in the canopy of the olive trees. So even if you make endotherapy in the trunk, you are not sure you will reach the xylem vessels that are impacted by Xylella in the canopy of the plants. But we tested this solution because the European officer of BIOVEXO asked us to test endotherapy for that. In the case of some other plants, for example, grapevine plants, I know that endotherapy can be used against trunk disease when they have a nice biocontrol agent. But for olives, it's very different system. And what I told you, it should be cheap for the farmers and giving good result. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That was very interesting. Would anybody like to add with their experience? No. So maybe I would like to ask Mrs. Lander from BEXYL project, given the wide range of integrated strategy tested in BEXYL, from remote sensing on genomic approaches to biocontrol tools like bacteriophages, which do you think holds the most promise for scalable implementation across different European contexts, and why?
That's a difficult question to answer. Because we are focusing on biopesticides, so I will try to choose which one. That is difficult. According to the previous experience and some bioproduct that has been already registered, so maybe for vector control, it will be much easier to register some entomopathogenic fungi. For instance, the University of Cordoba has already experience in licensing some products, some strains to some companies, private companies, because some of the species are similar to others already registered. It could be much easier for developing a product that the farmer can apply. Also, because it is operated when you apply into the grass, to the nymphs, and also the plants, the endophyte, the entomopathogenic fungi can colonize endophytically the plant. So this could be also an extra benefit that it lasts longer, the product under the field. Concerning other bioproducts for the bacterium, some bacteriophages have been already developed for Xylella, but the market is not still very large. So maybe this could be something that has some future. And concerning the microbial synthetic community, this can be more difficult because since you have different species in the mixture, so maybe the regulatory process will be much longer. I know there are some mixture of biocontrol, not biocontrol, of microorganisms, but all of them are sold as plant promoters. Okay, so they are not as biofungicide or bio for biological control process. So maybe this can take longer. Yeah. Or maybe there is a need to of a second BIOVEXO project that you can implement the products we are developing now in BC.
Well, thank you very much. I would like to hand over to Ms. Migliotti. What can you tell us on how NextGenBioPest is planning to introduce biopesticides to farmers? And what can you foresee are the main challenges we see in this?
Thank you for the question. So actually, this is one of the main objectives of NextGenBioPest, to actually communicate the products that we are going to develop to the final user, who is the farmer. During the project, there are some specific work packages that are about field trials and workshops and demonstrations. So we have already begun to do so. Actually, in June, we had a workshop in Montpellier where we introduced some first information to the farmers. And our next one will be a living lab in October in Greece, in the field in Aliartos I mentioned earlier. So through these living labs and workshops, we are going first to introduce the new tools in order to raise awareness as a first step. And then as the project progresses and we have actual results, we are going to help the farmers use them, inform them about the value of doing so, etc. However, what we have seen until now as a main challenge is, of course, the lack of knowledge, and this makes the farmer not so willing to adopt new technologies and tools. Also, besides this, we cannot say that there is not a high upfront cost for adopting such technologies. However, through our project and through our practical trials, we try to make the farmers more willing to adopt such technologies and actually to learn how to use them, because biopesticides differ from the conventional pesticides in how to use them. So what we did is that we have a whole work package dedicated to these practical trials.
Thank you very much. At this point, I would also like to remind the audience, if they have any questions, please just write in the chat function your questions, your thoughts, and later on we will be happy to answer your questions. Mr. Abreu, I would like to ask you, what are the main challenges in implementing biodiversity and sustainability in the olive sector?
Is a good question. But the project go to environment benefits of the mixed of the cover crops of the ecosystem service. But the problem of the farmers is one measure this ecosystem service, because carbon sequester, structure of the soil, fauna, biodiversity, how measure how many I pay. And now the UA in the sequestration of carbon is now in community. I 2020 weight expect the pay the sequester of carbon, and is very important for us. Is one problem is the age of the farmers is very old. Is change your mind is very difficult. It's very difficult to change the new techniques that accept. Is another is the olive trees compete with the cover crops or not compete of the water of the system. It's very difficult to explain to the farmer the good problem is the soil mobilization, because I have in various farmers mobilization of the soil is a problem, because not conservation, not organic matter, not microorganisms, is very difficult to change these new techniques. Another change is in the market, you have a certificate of the olive trees with the biodiversity, sustainable, and sequester of carbon. Is when the certificate is on the market, is more easy for us work in the farmers with combat this Xylella and the trees of olive, of almonds. And now I think that the big problem is the new generation in this is a problem, because not open mind. And I think that the better the future is many information. And Miliotti is a new, because my farmers not email, not for very problem of the internet is a problem. Is the difficulty of us.
Mm-hmm. Would anybody like to add to this? What's their experience with farmers taking on new technologies?
I think that for the extensive crops and the tree crops is quite difficult. So normally farmers that produce horticulture crops are more prone to be innovative and to acquire new developments, not only in biopesticides, but also new varieties and new crop systems. For my experience with olive growers and almond growers is that they are more conservative and more resilient to the old approaches they have been practicing for years. Yeah.
Thank you. I think we have time for a very fast second round of questions. So I would like to start with Mr. Saldarelli or Mr. Compant again, considering that up to now there exists no product that can eradicate or eliminate Xylella from infected plants, particularly olive trees, how can we fix an efficacy threshold for a bio-based product? In other words, what is the level of acceptance of farmers for a product that does not eradicate the bacterium?
That's a difficult question that I propose initially. This question came from the fact that we are not able to eliminate the bacterium from infected plants. So in the reality, we are also able to exploit this, I would say, the side effects of the bacterium, which are the stimulation of plant immunity and also an activity of plant growth promotion. So this makes in such a way our products, our product development something that is not really a biopesticide. As Blanca said before, it's a biostimulant in that form. So this is a question that I pose to myself. How can be accepted a threshold, and how can be fixed the threshold for farmers to accept a biostimulant and introduce it in the current farmer olive culture cultivation. So I have not an answer for this. I don't know what I can do. Also because it is a process that takes really many years to be the evaluation of the efficacy or not of a product takes a lot of years, and also considering, for example, the benefit or not on the yield of the production, something that we have not considered in BIOVEXO, but it is of course a major point that should be considered to introduce biopesticides in the current management in the infected area that we have in Apulia. There is another field of activity that we have not considered is that the possibility to use also this biostimulant in resistant cultivars that are now allowed to plant in the infected area, and that now constitute the majority of the olive cultivation in the epidemic area. So I have not an answer for this. This will be this will be something that will be perhaps need also more from the other side, instead from the side of the biopesticides, again the vector, there could be our biopesticide seems to work on juvenile and also on adults, but is not persistent. So this perhaps however, these biopesticides could be better accepted in organic farming in this way of cultivation, where for Xylella now I think there is only a product that is allowed, which comes from orange. I don't remember the name of the product. So perhaps the biopesticides against the vector could be better accepted in the practical management.
Stefane?
Yeah, thank you. I would like also to ask question. What could be acceptable for the farmers? To lose the whole olive production, to sell the terroir where the olive were grown since many generations to a very low price, or to use some solutions that can reduce the spread of the symptom. For the moment, there is nothing at all on the market. Maybe in the future there will be, and I know there is some development for that, more tolerant cultivar. But if we can reduce the symptom spread in the next future as soon as possible, will be acceptable for the farmer. But of course, we don't have miraculous solutions. There will be not a reduction of 100% of the progress of the symptom. What could be acceptable for the farmer? We need also to ask the farmer and to learn from the farmer, and not only from the scientist, what could be the solution that can be acceptable for all. But you know, at the same time, in BIOVEXO, we are developing some biopesticide. There will be some products that will be on the market in the future, but maybe not all of them, because there will be, for registration, it takes a lot of years, and it takes also a lot of money for that. So we are developing some solution, but we don't know if all the solution will be on the market for the farmers. And I can tell you, to find something on the market as a solution, it will take, even if you develop in a project like BIOVEXO, it can take 7-10 years before to be on the market. Then we need to have a very good solution. I show you some result when in San Vito de Normani, we have a good reduction of the symptom progress after 4 years of experiment. But in another one, there was a positive effect at the beginning and then not at the end because of the high pressure. I think what can be acceptable for the farmer is to have multiple solutions in a IPM strategy to reduce really more and more the spread of the symptom, the Xylella population, and to combine different solutions, combining reduction of the insect vector, Xylella, also with cover ground management, and put also different cultivar more resistant. We did not try to see if our biopesticide has an effect on more resistant cultivar, unfortunately, because we cannot do everything in 5 years and a half. We just provide some knowledge a bit, try to develop some solution, but I'm sure in the future there will be also some other project to reduce more the Xylella problem in Europe, which is very urgent. But I told you also, for registration process, it will take time and money, and you need to have a big player for this big company to do this, and also to combine biopesticide with biostimulants and a lot of different solutions.
Thank you, Mr. Compound. I would
You
like
can
to
call me
ask.
Stefan. You can call me Stefan. You know me.
Thank you, Stefan. I would also like to ask the panel, but also the audience. Would you have another question? Actually, you would like to answer here? Do you have something to add to what we've heard so far? If not, then I would like to hand over to Mrs. Martin. 1 second.
I can unmute myself. I'm speaking. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for this great webinar. I hope it's a really pleasure to host this webinar here today and hear from such a great mix of experts and projects. And a big thank you again to all the BIOVEXO partners and speakers from BEXYL, from NextGenBioPest and Life Resilience. We hope we sparked some few new ideas and give you some clear picture of the work being done across Europe and what we have planned even for future collaborations. And before we close the meeting, just a quick thing that I would like to share with you, if it's possible, is please, I'll do it now. I don't know if you can see my screen, but it's a quick reminder for save the date, please. Yeah, we're excited to inform you all about and invite you all for the BIOVEXO final event. It will take place in November 13. It is in Apulia, in Italy. It's a full day event and full of project results and expert panels and dedicated sessions, also between sister projects, between projects, including some of the ones that are here today. So it's a great opportunity to meet in person and share some ideas. And we will share soon, as I said previously in the beginning, we will share soon some inputs in our social media, including the agenda and logistics and registration links and etc. So make sure to follow us on our social media. And one last thing before we go, I would like also to share with you the slides. I hope I can change. Opa. Yes. So here I'll be sharing the slides with the website addresses with all the projects that were featured today. So if you would like to dive deeper into their work and just have a screenshot of this slide and stay connected to learn a bit more about them. And once again, thank you all for taking part. A special thanks to Ben Leitner from our TDS group and for making this session to happen. I'm not sure if you would like to say something before we close, but thank you for all of you, and see you in Apulia in November.
Thank you very much. I would also like to thank the panelists for their active contribution. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you at the final BIOVEXO event in November.